about your gender. What I care about is, what can you offer? What's your strength like? And that is why I'm a fan of, as a matter of fact, I have this slogan I use for my brand or for myself as an individual. I say it's not about the gender, but the agenda. So it's not about you being a male gender or female gender, but about your agenda, about your strength, about your capacity. So let's shy away from all this fixed mentality of, if you are a female gender, you cannot do this. If you are a male gender, you can. And you can look at the society now. Most of the skills that male gender used to do in the past, we have female gender doing them now because they have the strength, not because they are testing power or they are trying to prove better than the other. No, but because they have the strength, they have the capacity and the ability, which is paramount. Now, let me state some problems with data because I love data actually. So let's start with the numbers. According to the Interparliamentary Union in 2024, women hold only 26.9% of parliamentary seats globally. Can you imagine? Out of 100%, women only hold 26.9% of parliamentary seats globally. In sub-Saharan Africa, it's about 25.5%. In Nigeria, just 3.6% of national seats are occupied by women. Just 3.6. Amazing. That's 3.6 representing over 49% of the population. It's not just underrepresentation, it's systemic exclusion. And how do I mean? I mean that if we don't have people representing us, if we don't have people representing this gender, because I must tell you that people living with disabilities too are underrepresented. So it's not just only about female gender now. And that was why I used the word marginalized. So we have the female and we have the marginalized. So like I was saying, we have just few female gender, we have just few women and marginalized people. In fact, women now, we have just few women representing us at the leadership seats. So my question is this: when they are making decisions, how do they cover our interests? How do they keep us in mind? Apologies, please. So my question is, when they are making decisions, how do they keep us in mind? How do they have our interests at heart? Because we are underrepresented. It's just like minority and majority. Minority, we have their say. Majority, we have their way, whether you like it or not. So same goes to this that we're talking about tonight. So we need to understand that in this era that we are, we all need to get involved, because I'm getting there. The problem has been that a lot of us, we actually lost interest. Some said because, they don't give you the platform. Some said because they wouldn't allow you in. They have this way of gatekeeping everything and not making you feel or get along. There's this saying that, if there are no chairs at the table, bring your chair to the table. Do not wait for their own chairs. You bring your own chair to the table. And that has happened to me multiple times. I will get there when it's time for storytelling, but let's enjoy this section. So from party primaries to campaign financing to online harassment and cultural bias, women and marginalized genders face a barrage of invisible walls and open hostility when they try to access leadership, like I mentioned earlier. So why it matters now? Let's have the flip side of it. Research from UN Women and McKinsey shows that countries with higher numbers of women in parliament tend to invest more in education, healthcare, and social protection. Why? Because women understand that these things are what? They are paramount, they are essentials. And you will see them doing fine. You will see their country growing because they are doing what they should do, the necessity. And look at our country. I am not saying that the current government or the past government have not done well. But what am I saying? We have more of women. We will do better. Because if you give a woman a nation, a family, not just a family, then she tries to pass it across. But look at it. We are in a society that women are being marginalized. Look at what the UN women, look at what they are doing. They have invested more in education and they are still investing healthcare and social protection. And that is why you see UN, United Nations, having this program for SDG 5, having this program for women education, gender balance, all those things. Sexual and gender-based violence, because they understand that in this era that we are, in this society that we are, we need to educate more women to take up roles and responsibilities. But we in this country, are we doing that? We can't do that now because even the problem at hand, we've not finished solving them. In Rwanda, over 60% of parliamentarians are women. Over 60% of parliamentarians are women. The country saw rapid post-conflict recovery, prioritizing health, unity, and inclusive policies. That is what I'm talking about. The more we have more women, the more our concern will be what? Will be catered for. The more we what will be catered for. So it shows that you and I need to get involved. And I must thank all women supporting, all men supporting women. It's amazing. If or she, you are doing well. And don't let it be like, why women, women, women? At least guys are doing it to get the opportunities. Why are women not doing it? It's harder for women. I can tell you categorically. We'll get there. So when leadership is inclusive, governance becomes effective. That's it. When leadership is inclusive, governance becomes effective. Because when leadership is inclusive of both the male and female gender, we don't have any marginalized. Trust me, the government will become more effective because both parties will bring in ideas. You are bringing in your idea, I'm bringing in my idea, we are bringing our ideas together. Trust me, it's gonna be a whole lot because you want to do something better, I want to do something better. So we are pouring in ideas, and we are scrutinizing those ideas to see the best that we can make use of. So it's going to be highly competitive and it's gonna be healthy competition, not unnecessary rivalry. Okay, let me check my time. Okay, I have just 18 minutes more. So how do we close the gap? Now we are going to the solution. I decided to analyze the problem because when the purpose of a thing is unknown, abuse is inevitable. And when you don't get to the root of a problem, profiling solution will be very difficult because you don't know what you want to profile solution to. But when you know what the problem is exactly, then you can come up with ideas. You can know how best to profile solutions. So now let's talk about solutions, creating pathways. So how do we close the gap? How do we build intentional on-ramps to power? Number one, quotas and legal reform. So look at Rwanda, Senegal, and South Africa. They have implemented gender quotas with impressive results. We must demand legal frameworks that mandate a minimum of 35% female representation in political structures. And that will take me back to the motion that was moved in the House, calling for more women representation. The way they will pass bill, they'll take it there and there, here and there. I have to be careful too because I'm also a politician by the virtue of what I do and all that. But I must be sincere, irrespective of me being careful. It doesn't stop me from being sincere to myself. I must be sincere that it wasn't passed. It hasn't been passed. Why? because the society is yet to realize that we need to have more women on board. And don't get me wrong, the present society is not the major problem. It has been a problem right from time when our forefathers and our old generations, they limited the strength of a woman to the kitchen. They limited education to men. Men had access, women were denied access. So it has been an issue right from then, not just now. So what we need to do now is to look for how to educate the current society. And how can we get that done? Kudos to Beyond Saving Lives for coming up with this, because with this and more conversations, seminars, conferences, back-to-back conversations about it, the society will get to do better. But then we need to keep in effort. We need to make it a continuous and deliberate action. So number 2, we need to build capacity and mentorship. And as a matter of fact, this was one of the things that prompted me having a mentoring platform, because I realized that people have different opinion, because nobody has come to say your opinion is correct, because I am a fan of not saying you have said something wrong. I rather correct you, irrespective of how wrong you must have said it. And that has to do with the emotional intelligence of a thing. So we need to help people to understand better, because some people, they got wrong information. They don't have an idea. It was hearsay, they heard this, they heard that, so they decide to believe, and they decide to start saying it up and down without facts. And that is why, as young people that we are, we need to show to the world that we are not just young by being young. We are young by gathering facts. So when someone says something, don't just sit somewhere and just accept it and start spreading it across. Do your fact finding, fact checking. Check it out. Confirm that what you are saying is true, so that you'll not be part of those that will go around saying what is wrong, what is not true. And by so doing, you are misleading a whole lot of people. Like, you are misleading more people by doing so. So another thing is this. Okay, on capacity building, let me just read briefly what I have here. We need more programs like the Emerge Leadership Network, Elect Academy, like Adoni Civic Foundation with train people, and my mentoring platform too. That's the Adoni mentoring hub. I think I have some of my mentees on the call. They can attest to that. So we need to reach more people. And how can we reach more people? Is by being intentional, by emulating from what's Beyond Saving Lives they are currently doing. Thank you so much. Another thing is financial access. According to the Women in Politics Forum, 80% of Nigerian female candidates cite lack of funding as a key barrier. We must open up funding pools and donor networks specifically for women and gender diverse candidates. As much as I am interested in having us open a funding pools and donor networks for women and gender diverse candidates, I am also of the opinion that women need to intensify efforts in becoming a successful woman or becoming a great person. Because let me tell you something, like this popular saying, power is not served a la carte. And like I was still addressing the some local executives of NYCN on Saturday, I told them categorically that to be a leader, you must have something in your pocket. And I said it in Yoruba. I said Olowo loloye. That means that it is a rich person that holds title and positions, because there are times that would demand you to use your money. I'm sure that Beyond Saving Life, they would have gathered some funds to get this done, because you need money to run certain things. So if you don't have any source of income as an individual, it's not going to be of help, because by the time they are referencing, they will say, imagine the person that wants to come and hold position. She doesn't even have anything. She's begging to get everything to run for this political position or to run for this leadership position. So Tell me, how many people are going to respect you or be of the opinion that you come and lead them? Because when you have to lead, you need to lead with vision. So if you do not have financial vision as an individual, how do you intend to lead people? These things matters a lot, but some of us think probably it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it matters. You want to lead people and you don't have this financial strength. You don't need to have millions in your account, but let people see that even if you are not rich at the moment, you have what is called financial plans for yourself, for the organization, for the business. There are certain things that you do that people begin to see that you are serious-minded and you have things to offer. So another thing is cultural shifts. We must disrupt the belief that leadership wears only a masculine face. Guys on the call, don't be offended, but I'm being sincere here. Media, education, and faith-based institutions must play a role in normalizing women in power. So, like, most times you see it as though women in power, women in power are just being opportune. Like, I question it a lot. I'm like, how do you mean? And at some conversations, people say, she's a woman. I said, don't you ever say that. She has not done that because she's a woman. She has only done that because that's her strength. We need to understand that, and we need to consciously correct that. My colleague at work, they know me. I'm not going to fight them because of emotional intelligence, but I'm going to make them understand that, no, you don't say that she has done that because she's a woman. A man can also do what she has done. She has only done that because that is her strength. That is her strength capacity. That is her strength level, not because she's a woman. So we need to start cutting, because I must tell you, there are some organizations that women don't attain their role. Women don't attain some leadership position roles in some organizations. I have a friend who had to leave where she was working because of that. No, because of, leadership wears masculine face in their organization, which is not supposed to be. And how can we stop this? By raising our voice, by lending our voice, by contributing, by talking about it, constantly talking about it. Another one is men as allies. Oh my God. I remember attending the Leap Africa Leadership Institute across Africa. They had this program. The admission is still on. Please, if you can, just try to apply. You're going to learn a lot from it. Men as allies, that was the first place I learned about that. And I realized that we need men, because number one, men are the ones occupying these positions for allies. So when there are opportunities or when there are time to recommend, do you think they'll be able to recommend? They won't be able to recommend it. So you need to also make them your friend. Like I am, I have a lot of men as allies that when I'm not somewhere, they plead on my behalf to get certain things. They'll be like, Comfort is capable, she can do it. Forget, she's not busy. When it comes to delivering, she would deliver top notch, this and that. And that's why they just call me. Even my current place of work, I must tell you, I got recommended by a friend, a male friend. There was this TA ambassadors for the senator representing Lagos East, and he is not in Ikorodu, and they were planning it in Ikorodu. He stays at Koshofe. He had to tell those in Ikorodu that I love that, I'll be part of it, but I want you to include Comfort. At least if she'll be the only female amongst us. She has the strength, she has the capacity, she can do it. They were like, she's a lady, the only lady amongst us. There are 10 of them. And having me come on board will be the 11th. And they were like, no, she cannot come and be the only. And they were like, you have somebody in Ikorodu, you are planning something in Ikorodu that will stand for Lagos East, and you still do not want to include her. She has the capacity. And that was how this guy recommended me. And I got on board. And they saw that I could do what he has told them. And before you know it, I got this opportunity to be working with the senator. So I'm not saying it because I just want to say it, but I'm using it to emphasize the point of men as allies, because we need them. So if you don't see men as allies before, start to see them, because change won't happen if men stay silent. I trust me rather, because they'll feel like female are the only ones agitating. But when they see that males are also agitating, and they'll be like, something is strange. Even male agitating for female. So before you know it, we begin to get our voice out there. Okay, I still have a little time. Now, because I don't like to overspend time, I'm working on my time management. So, in conclusion, I want to put it forward to everyone on this call tonight that we need to understand that women are being marginalized, and we also have marginalized individuals too. So how can we curb this? How can we make this work? We are not demanding for charity. We are demanding for justice. We are demanding for fair hearing. We are demanding for equal opportunities. I know some people will say there are a lot of opportunities from the United Nations for women. But trust me, if women are doing fine, why should there be call for opportunities? And trust me, of all the opportunities, how many we get to all the women across boards? We have a lot. So I'm imploring you, if you're on this call, we all need to join hands together. Let us strategically lend our voices to ensure that women are also considered at leadership tables. And to women, we need to do better too. A lot of us are not doing better. How do I mean? We need to get prepared for opportunities. Not when opportunities come, that's when we now start to try getting prepared. No, it doesn't work that way. By the time we get prepared ourselves now, when the opportunity comes, we are going to fit in. I remember my first place of work. After service, I didn't go in search of work. I went for training. I went to National Broadcast Commission. I went there for the training. I was still there when the chairman of Igbogubaeku reached out to me to say, "Oh, how are you?" I was doing class on presentation. And then he reached out to say, "Can you check because I post a lot on social media and everything." So he said to me, "Can you check my social handles to see what's wrong or how to do better? Because, Ashwaji's election is coming and he's part of the media and he needs the visibility himself before taking it to the national level." And then I went to his page. I've never done it before for anybody. But we need to constantly do research. We need to constantly learn. We need to constantly work on improving ourselves. Do not remain the same you were last year. Do not remain the same you were last month. Look at how you can build yourself, how you can engage, how you can become better. And that was how I went online. Okay, what do I need to do this, to do that? So I gathered information of what I should do. Then I went ahead to do it for him. Between you and I, he reached out to me to say that with this recommendation, you are going to resume as my essay on new media. And that was how it all started. And the moment I got the job, I got the work, the job offer, I went, how do I do better? What can I do best? What do I need to do? Okay, I need social media calendar. Okay, how do I post? What are the things to post? How do I get the content trending? How do I get more people to follow him? I started to inquire knowledge because I knew what I wanted to do. So some of us on this call, we don't know how to do certain things. It comes our way, or it has come our way, or it's coming out. Make research. And like I tell people, you don't compete with who you are to learn from. There are a lot of people I don't compete with. I just go to them. What's up? I like what you did. I don't know how to do it. Can you tell me how to go about it? Or what do I need to do? Do I need to pay? Or can you just train me? Okay, I will pay. How much am I paying? I will gather the money to pay because I need to learn. Because I need to upgrade myself. So I don't compete. You don't need unnecessary competition. LD competition only. LD. And that was how the whole thing started. Before you know it, okay, I have 2 minutes left. Before you know it, a man reached out to me. The man has this big complaint, and he reached out to me to say, I saw the way you managed the chairman's page before you moved to the senator. I saw the way I can see the way you are managing the senator's page. Can you please manage my brand too? Hey, I was shocked. When I did his costing for the, I had never done it before. I went online to read again. I gathered resources after reading, learning, and everything. So I decided to say, okay, I was in for it. And that was how I did proposal. The proposal, if you see the proposal, you think I had done this thing over and over again. It was so tush and everything. And then I submitted it to this man. In fact, as at then, I used the Aduni Media Agency. That was what I used because it came all of a sudden and I needed to just fit in. So after gathering knowledge and everything, I just did the proposal. I went for presentation. And the man said, I am impressed that a lot of people had reached out to me to manage my brand. But I told them no, that I had seen someone who had done something and she has done it well. That is the person I am willing to allow her manage my brand. Lo and behold, after presenting the budget to this man, even me, when I went to present the budget, I remember telling a colleague of mine in my office that, hey, this thing I've never done it before. This budget is much. Oh. Do you think this man will pay? Do you think this man will accept? Do you think this man will take it? This is millions. Oh, hey, how did you? My colleague just said, just keep calm, just try it first. And then I went ahead to meet this man and I presented the proposal as though I had done this over and over again. Lo and behold, the man gave me the contract ahead of others. And he paid quarter out of the money. Like, I was shocked. He paid almost immediately. And we've not even started doing much. We're just still flying drone and all those stuffs. Do I have a drone? No. But I could hire someone to do it. So we all need to understand that we must also have things doing. We must be a voice to be reckoned with, because when people see that you are productive, you are resilient, and you are making efforts, people will trust in your capacity, they will believe in you, and they can stand in for you. So bridging the gender gap in politics and leadership is not just a gender issue. It's a governance issue. It's an economic issue. It's a development issue. And if half the sky is held up by women, then half of leadership must be held by them too, because we make up the population. So we should be part of the decision makers. Thank you all for listening.
You don't kill us tonight, you. Just like somebody this no end again. Eh? My senator. Can you hear me, ma? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. You are muted, ma.
Oh, sorry, and I was talking. Oh, sorry, please.
I said you don't finish us tonight. Oh. Waiting remain now.
No.
You don't finish us tonight already. Waiting remain.
That's a privilege. I
It
do
does
not
be like
take it for granted.
it
Thank
actually
you
look
so
as if
much.
this thing should not end again, sincerely. Because I'm enjoying the conversation already. All right. Anyways, guys, Senator Comfort has spoken and she has said a whole lot of things. Sincerely, most of us we only do things based on limiting factors like can we do this, can we do that,
I've
and
been
which is
raising up my
affecting our
hand.
society
I've been raising
today.
up my hands for the past 5
So
minutes. I want to ask question.
I don't know if anyone has so I don't know if anyone has any question. I'm seeing only one person, and does any other person have a question? Let me just give number, and after that number, I won't accept any number for questioning again. Do we have any number, any other person for questioning? Okay. Wasim, me, SuccessBridge,
All right.
SuccessBridge.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, even though I've been raising up my hands for the past 5 minutes now.
All right.
Thank you very much, Madam Comfort, for that beautiful presentation. Sincerely, it was top notch, and I know you were very passionate about women. That was great. Women supporting women. Can you hear me, ma?
I can actually. That's why I'm laughing.
All right, thank you very much. At least it was an inspiring session for me, and I've jotted a lot of things, a lot, in fact. And because one of our goal here at Beyond Saving Life is we focused on inclusion. We are including everybody. We are not just like what we did last the session we had last time before this class. It was about gender roles and stereotypes, how to fight against it, and which is our practice here. Understand? So we are not only supporting one gender, we support both. But my question is this, man. So when I want to ask about how do you think that men can fight against their own biases in order to promote to promote how do I want to put it, like fighting against their own biases, such that it's not you mentioned about some men allies, and how they can support other people, bringing inclusion, speaking for them where they are not, but then some of us or some men, they feel like, they are just biased, or they don't feel that vibes. How do you think they can fight within themselves, to promote that what was it called? To promote women. I don't know, maybe you understand the question I'm trying to ask
Okay,
you.
so let me take the question to be sure that I got it right. You're talking about we have some men who do not believe in this,
Yes,
who argue it amongst themselves,
yes,
who do not support those fighting it.
yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm fine. I'm glad I got your question. So this is it. The first thing to do, and I think we all make that mistakes, but what really helped me to learn from this mistake was when I was taking my mentees on emotional intelligence. So because if you want to take someone on something, you needed to be sure that you know it quite well and you have learned about it and you have worked on yourself too. So I remember one of the things I told them is that we are in a society where everybody just want to talk. No one is interested in listening. And that is where emotional intelligence comes in. When you listen to people or when you listen to someone, the person will be happy to have you listening to him or her. So by the time you want to talk to the person too, and you're not talking from the point of what you said is wrong, you have said the wrong thing, you don't know what you're saying, this is the right thing. I talk. You can't tell me, say, waiting, I talk, no right. Now your own right. How? And you expect me to listen. How do I listen? So I think that's the genesis of the problem. The genesis of the problem is that, number one, we don't want to listen to people, but we want them to listen to us. Number two, we tell people what they've said is wrong, but we claim that what we are saying or what we've said is right. It's not balanced. So the best thing to do for such people is listen to them, get their points. So when you get their points, do not judge or blame them for what they believe in or what they have said. Appreciate them. Tell them what they have said is the right thing. My students know me, no wrong answer, no right answer. I will only tell you what is right, but I will never tell you what you have said is wrong. So after listening and, making them feel like, oh, you are correct, oh, that's true, oh, you are saying, oh, nice. If you are so used to me, you know that's the way I behave. Say anything. I'll say, oh, nice, you are right. And then after listening to you, I'll not say, wow, you're so brilliant. My students know me, even when you do rubbish, you are so brilliant. You're so brilliant, so intelligent. Look at the way you spoke. Like, you're so on point. And while I was listening to you, I also have an idea from your points. Just look at it. Imagine you are the one who do not listen, and I'm saying all of this to you. I also got something from your point. I gained something, and I learned from your points. Imagine that, yes. So you now bring in your point, not from you antagonizing view or being an antagonist, but being a listener who had listened carefully, made someone feel relevant, and then trying to make your point, the person will listen. So over time, you constantly doing that. That is why you see some people say that it's only this person that understands me. This person does not understand me. Because that person listens to him or her, but the other person doesn't listen. So if we can be so committed, if you can be so committed to this cause, like listening to people, even when they are saying rubbish, listen to them, let them feel alive, let them feel among, then you pass your points. Trust me, we are gonna have our way. That's the truth. But everyone doesn't want to listen. Everyone just wants to talk. Everybody wants to be the talker in the relationship. Everyone wants to be the talking person. Why you expect others to listen? They will get tired too because they want to also pour things out. And that is why if you go to a lecturer's house, a professor or something, who has been reading, and you now go to his place or her place, you are in for it. Because they will sit you down and it will look like they are lecturing you because they've consumed a lot and they need to pour out. So that's how life is too. So by constantly doing that, trust me, nobody is hard, but we are not just willing to do the work. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it's answered the question. Thank you very much, ma. I have another question, ma. So the
Okay, I'm
second
listening.
question, because I did some background check about you, and I see that you have been speaking, you have been youth advocacy, you based on SDG 5 and all. So I just wanted to we have a lot of ladies there that some of them this exposure wasn't there for them. You get just like the way you are, you have gone far in the in the grassroots politics and all, and probably maybe you quickly get to mentoring people that mentored you. You understand, and all the exposure was there for you. So what are the society or little place that you think that this our young people, our young girls can start from? You understand, to building themselves, and at least you understand building their capacities from the grassroots, and when the opportunity comes in a large scale, it will be more easier for them to access and they can take more responsibility.
Thank you for that intelligent question, sir. I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much. That's so intelligent. So I must say that, like a lot of people always think, I think the CEO knows a little about my story. That it wasn't rosy for me. Honestly, it wasn't at all. As a matter of fact, I didn't have opportunities like people think I had then. There was no opportunities. I remember I grew up with a single mother, whom my mother and my father, they separated since I was very, very young. When I say young, I mean very, very young. In the long run, she remarried, and it was a whole lot. Let me not go there. But what am I trying to say? I'm trying to let you understand that I never had it rosy, but I was determined. Have you ever seen a determined lady not successful? It's hard because God is a rewarder of efforts. God is a rewarder of efforts. And like I do tell young people, irrespective of your gender, be it a male or a female, there are 101 opportunities out there. But the first thing to ask yourself is, are you ready to tap into any? Because it's going to stress you. It's going to cost you. It might not cost you financially, but it will cost you your time. Time is money. Let me just do a brief into my growing up and how I got into some of these opportunities. I got into them by being selfless, by being interested in getting those opportunities. I remember there was a time that we had a rule in the house. My stepdad has this rule of 8 o'clock, you must be at home. And volunteering for student union in my community, we would always be out after 8. And by the time I get back, they will lock the gates. I will call my mom, she will not pick. I call him my daddy. I don't call him stepdad. I'll call my daddy, he will not pick. I will knock the gate. They can hear me knocking, they will not open. I will have to call passerby to say, please, let me call my mom so that she can open this gate. They say, what happened to your own phone? I said, I've called her, she did not pick. Oh, and I've called my dad too, he did not pick. It's because I'm late. Our rule is 8 o'clock. But I was held down in traffic. Like there was nothing I could have done. So the passerby will call, be begging on my behalf before they come and open the gate. By the time they open the gate and I get inside, you know the way fathers will talk. They will not beat you, but the talking is that your mother is the cause. So your mother will want to beat you to make the father feel like she's not the cause. I don't know if you understand that family drama. between
Thank
father and
you.
mother. So, so my daddy, my daddy will not talk, and my daddy will not beat me rather, but he will be talking. The way we'll be talking, my mom will be so pained that she's not the one. She's not the, she will beat the hell out of me. Cha 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 cha. My mom will beat me so much that to eat at that night, the beating will be my food that night. And then I'll sleep. The following day, I will go again, I'll come back late. They will beat me again. I will still go. The third day, I will go and come back. So I was being beaten for practically like a year because aside beating, they give me punishment. But because my passion was in what I was doing, so I didn't allow the beating to be my hindrance. I saw it as something that I have to do it to be successful. And that takes me to how many people are willing to go through some things for their goals, for their visions, for their purpose in life. Some of us, when we listen to people who are now getting it right stories, we will know that it wasn't all rosy. Do I talk of when I was sent out of the house by my stepbrothers that I needed to go and look for where to just put my head, start living before I could, I started working before I could gather some change to get an apartment, before I could get help. It wasn't rosy at all. But because we are not always out there saying all of these stories, people think that it was all rosy. So the best thing to do, and like what I would say is that the number one thing to do is, number one, we need to be ready to make commitments. The young people out there, the problem is that they are not ready to go through all these sufferings. So everybody wants to use iPhone. Everybody wants to dress big. I remember then I had like about I know of certain clothes that I have that I repeat. I can wear the top and another skirt today. I can wear the skirt and that top tomorrow, just to make it not appear like I'm wearing the same thing. But now, to an extent, God has really been faithful. So it's not always rosy. We just need to let the young girls out there know that it's not rosy, and they should stop going after big people, big men to support them, because it will make them lazy and not dream big. They need to believe in themselves, be ready to do the work, and look forward to having mentors that can mentor them to achieve their goals. Thank you. I've spent a lot of time talking about this. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I will have, well, I'll try to follow you on your social media, because there are still a lot of questions I would have loved to ask, but then, the time is not permitting us. So it's because it's a wonderful session.
You are muted, Madam Comfort.
Apologies, please. I was only saying that my DMs on socials are available. I don't like WhatsApp for one thing, and that is because messages are always too much there, too cumbersome. But for Instagram, I see messages quickly, Instagram and other socials. But for WhatsApp, it's a whole lot coming after my life.
Right. Thank you very much
WhatsApp
for
is
that
always
beautiful response.
okay. Thank you so much, Senator Comfort, and trust me, we'll be glad to always have you around. We have a lot of work to do together, right? All of us together like this. Now the work is on all of us like this. I understand you know what I'm talking. The work is on all of us because right now with the situation of the country and everything, we need a sane environment for most of our young ladies. It's becoming sometimes, let me say, even at the office, the way they treat young ladies at times, you'll be like, no, even work environment now, you'll be saying job description, male alone. And you see some job description, they will tell you female. But at the end of the day, the way they want to treat that female is always, how will I put it? It's very crazy. A female person, and you will see some office, they will tell you, even though a female that is breastfeeding the baby, you can't go around 6 o'clock. And you still get to 9 o'clock, you still have to come 7 o'clock. Why must that always be like? Why must that always be? So we all have a lot of work to do in creating a sane environment for female in our society. So you saw say Nigeria, you did. See you. The Nigeria I do. See you.
Azizat has a question.
Okay. Azizat,
Yes, please.
go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thank you so much, my
Good evening,
leader.
star woman.
Thank you. Thank you for this insightful session. My question is, basically, when we talk about gender equality or what anything related to gender, what comes to people's minds is always about women. And because, as you have said, that's more of like the shift. But notwithstanding, there are some certain factors that needs to be considered because irrespective of the sector that we are talking about, just like the session we had some time back in the uh movie industry, this shift is basically more on the male gender. It's more favorable for the female. So my question is, in what ways can we empower men to be true allies in the fight for gender equality? It's kind of similar to what the first person asked, but I want you to be more direct on this question. How can we empower men to be true allies in the fight for gender equalities?
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
It's
you.
so nice to hear your voice. I think it's over a year now. That's so beautiful. And your voice is still
Thank
as
you.
beautiful as it has always been. So,
Thank you.
That's the richest woman in Africa.
yes, so you can say that again. So, I love that question actually because looking at the example you cited, and that's the entertainment industry, we have more of women there. That's the truth. We have men too. Like, let's not lie. We have men too. Lai Wasabi, Kit Abiola, all these I've forgotten this guy's name, but this guy, Pity Pity, and a whole lot of them. But then we have more women compared to men. So now going to your question of how can we empower men to be allies? I think the best thing we can do is to educate them. Some people are not educated about this fight of gender equality or equal rights. People see it as, I've heard, to be realistic, I've heard men and even women say that, ó fẹ́ máa figagbága pẹ̀lú ọkùnrin. Like, you want to be dragging power with the other gender. And I'm like, that is not it. But that is the mentality people have about it. Maybe because some set of people they've painted the picture of such, they've made it appear as such. So they are now seeing it that way. But that's not it, irrespective of the gender. That was why I said we have more of female gender, but we have the marginalized, which can either be male gender or female gender, or people living with disability. Raise awareness and educate them. And that was what brought about he for she. So the best thing to do is to first educate these people. Let them be aware. Because to empower someone is just like you not educating someone on how to use a Bible. And you give the person this Bible. That, oh, I give you this Bible. And this person doesn't know about Bible. This person has had bad mindset about Bible that only successful people make use of it. And then you have decided to give this person the Bible. Don't you think the person will just dump it somewhere? Because there's a mentality of only successful people make use of it. So I'm not a successful person. That means I do not need the Bible. So I will either dump it or go and give it to people who are successful because I am not yet. Same is the lesson or the situation with the main allies. We need to empower them by educating them first. They need to understand. And how do we get this done? Is by having people to genuinely talk about this without bringing in emotions. Because I must I must tell you the honest truth, which I stand to be corrected. Most times when people are talking about gender equality, people are always too emotional about it. So they allow emotions to override the message. And when the moment emotions override your message, people no longer see the sincerity in what you are saying. People see the sympathy, the need for sympathy rather. People see the need for sympathy, not the need to get your point clearly. So we need to understand that there's a place of emotion and there's a place of message. They are two different things. Yes, Nigerian mentality driven by emotion. That's the truth. Because people feel like, you are no, it's wrong. The female gender to have they have the right to do what the male gender are doing. What do you mean? This and that. And the person you are talking to will be like, hey, come and take the position, come and take the power. And some people will be like, hey, yeah, somebody said something when this woman who was made the speaker, Miranda, the speaker of Lagos State, before Basa came back. What happened to the lights? Apologies, they put on the journal. I remember that Miranda cried when, the house was very hot. And guess what people said? People said, can you imagine? How can a whole speaker of the house of the State Assembly of Lagos State be crying? Can't she manage her emotions? And that's one of the things they use against the male gender. The female gender, rather. Emotions. People will be like, so you cannot manage a situation, you are crying, and you want to hold leadership position. How? And those are one of the things they use against us. I must be sincere. They say, Obiri, so when they gave the Miranda position, at least to act as speaker, look at the way she was crying. So if they give you too, that's the way you'll be crying. So there's this stereotype. We need to help them understand that it's not about Miranda being a female gender. A male gender could have done that. But we have to be sincere. It's rare to see a male gender crying. Obasa has faced worse than what Miranda faced. And there was no day it was ever recorded that he was crying in the house. Yes, everybody has the right to cry, but when you're holding some positions, you need to understand that it comes with some things. So as much as it's not about she being a female gender that made her cry, it still boils down to, as a lady, as someone holding this sacred position, you are not meant, or you are not meant to be caught doing some things. So it has to do with both parties, forget male or female gender. It has to do with the cultural belief, the norms, the fallacy, the stereotype. And that is why we need to lend our voices. We need to stand up. We need to, if you're advocating for it at your place of work, I'm advocating for it at my place of work. Everybody is advocating for it without letting our emotions override the points we are trying to make. Trust me, it's gonna work. I'm telling you. It's actually gonna work. And then we need more women to support women too. Because sometimes your fellow man is the one doing you. But then when you realize that it's your fellow woman who is behind some things that are bad, should your reaction be that you want to fight her back? No. Correct her in love. Help her to understand that she doesn't need what she's doing. She needs to do better. Correct her in love. Help her to see the need to do better. But no. She hates me. I will show her shege. She will know that I'm not her mate. So please, you just need to work on it, honestly. I remember there was a time, I'm not supposed to be saying this, but this is off record. There was a time my colleague, female gender, like I am, she just came, she started insulting me, she started saying abusive words and everything. I'm like, really? Who do you know? You think because you know people, you think because you know politicians. I'm older than you, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, really? So after that time, and we came back to office. It was holiday period. So we got back from holiday. When I saw her, I greeted her. And she was like, you greeted me. I said, yes, now I'm a child of God. I don't keep malice. She was shocked because she didn't believe that I could do that upon all the abusive words and all the words that could cause depression kind of that she has said. She didn't believe that I was going to outlive them. And that is it. Some of us, we get weighed by words. We need to grow up. Oh. We are not in society. We are not in the society where we allow words to get on us so much that it gets us depressed. You just tell yourself, I am bigger than what they've said. I'm not that. Because words can cause depression. I remember there was a time a guy just said so many rubbish things about me that I got so depressed. I was crying. I said I wanted to kill myself. Oh, I must kill myself, this and that. After I got healed from that process, I remember my uncle told me that you don't allow what people say get to you. If not, you won't progress in life. And since that time, it has really been of help. So even when people are talking, I'll say, why are you bothered about what people are saying? Be bothered about your conscience and God. So I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to do justice to the question I was asked. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my senior senator. Time is fast spent. I really appreciate your time. I know you are a very busy person, but I really appreciate your time for this. I'm so glad to have you here. Don't worry, I think very soon we'll be having a TV talk show, like series of talks online. We're actually working on something like that. Don't worry. So you'll be encouraging us, helping our society, because right now it's not just about the female in the society anymore. It's about even, and I think one of the problems we have is between we ourselves, because we are not even saying. So I know majorly among the youth of these days, we really need proper education to educate them more about gender equality, because where we found ourselves now, a lot of people are uneducated about it. So the people feel it is just like to go to school, what they learned in school is beyond that. And I really appreciate you for putting justice to most of those points tonight. And trust me, I think this session is recorded. No worry, it will go far. Thank you so much for tonight. We really appreciate you. And God bless you, man. I don't know if the CEO, like just like you are calling her, may I call her my senior colleague, senior founder, senior founder.
I'm here. I'm here.
You don't want to talk since I beg.
I'm talking now. Thank you so
Oh
much,
yeah.
Comfort. Thank you for honoring us. We so much appreciate. We've learned a lot, and I mean, I used to wonder like, how do you cope within those men that you work with and all that? And I, how do I put it? I appreciate your resilience, your dedication, your strength, most especially because it's not easy. When it comes to emotional intelligence, it's not easy to, calm yourself in the midst of trouble, in the midst of challenges and all that. It's a whole lot. I mean, I'm proud of you. I'm proud to be your friend. So thank you so much for honoring us, for sharing part of your knowledge with us. We really do appreciate, and we hope to see more of you for our project, program, seminars, and lots more. Thank you. And Shay, when are you coming back from Santorini? Bye.
Where am I coming back from? Where?
Thank you everyone for
Santorini.
receiving me.
I'm in
Can
Nigeria, I beg.
Am I done now? Can I take my leave?
You can.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
very
much.
All right,
much.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you. God
I really
bless.
Bye.
appreciate your comment. Thank you. Everyone, thank you so much. I'm really proud. Like, I'm glad.